is time for the Jedi to make a choice, for the fate of the galaxy rests in their hands. It has been so long since I did this series, but now it's time to end it. It has been 2 years since Luke has made a plan to work with the Resistance, and they had to do more training. Jaina Solo has come with them, and Rey and Jaina would train together as well as learn about each other as best friends. Heck, even like sisters. Luke made contact with Lando and took Finn with him on a private fighter to Cloud City, where father and son, that is right, Finn is Lando's son. They reconcile. The story goes, Lando was actually married twice, but the first wife died not bearing him any children, and the second wife died trying to protect Finn from the First Order, but failed and died trying to save him. Lando was shocked and heartbroken, but resisted the First Order for a long time, but had to go into hiding to protect his people. But with Luke telling him it's time to return to the Resistance and told him what happened to Han, Lando decided to take over, for that was what his friend Han would want. Meanwhile, Leia was struggling with a broken heart for the past 2 years and was getting sicker and sicker, but used the Force to keep going and lead the Resistance. But sensing her health was declining, Luke would take over as the Resistance leader. Finn, on the other hand, would train with his son, Ben Skywalker, and over time, in those 2 years, the Resistance would continue their journey throughout the galaxy, even as far to go to Hoth. Luke sadly remembered that planet, and it was very, very cold. But even throughout the 2 years, they never stayed in one area of the planet forever. Finally, they decided to go to Typho, and everything began to unravel. Once that happened, that's when they uncovered secrets of the Jedi and a Jedi that fell to the dark side on that planet. But while that was going on, Snoke had been waiting for Jaina for 2 years, and decide to spring his trap by connecting with the Force and connecting to Jaina, messing with her head with visions, and even using her own brother, who is yet to earn a new Sith name. So he goes to Korriban to learn about the most immortal Sith, Tenebrae, that used to be known as Vistius and Valkorion. While learning about his power, he plotted that he would grow, and he would learn the ultimate power and take over the entire First Order once and for all. And he was getting more and more eager to do this. Snoke sensed his eagerness, and so he attempted to connect with Jaina more, so he would plan for both siblings to face each other once and for all. And then, when Kylo Ren, Jacen Solo, returned to Snoke, he would get his new Sith name. Meanwhile, Captain Phasma went on a solo mission to Typho and went for Finn. Finn sensed this and sensed that she had a plan to strategically distract people while she went for Finn. Upon sensing the trouble and sensing his former master / leader amongst him, Finn had to connect with the Force, and that's when he uncovered battle meditation. Battle meditation in the Force is basically used to control any battle into Jedi favor or turn against them. So, Finn decided to use battle meditation to warn the Resistance on Typho to get ready for any attack. Lando would immediately go into the Millennium Falcon to get ready for the space battle. Jaina and Rey went on their fighters as they were sensed to go to Duxon, a planet not far from Alderaan. Once they were there, however, Jason was waiting, now as Darth Caedus, the new Sith. Rey and Jaina both fought hard against him, and he used every sort of trick they tried, using the Force, every lightsaber ability they could use, any form they could try. Suddenly, Rey was taken off guard and got knocked out, and Jaina got captured. Everything was going against the Resistance at that moment. Even though Finn had battle meditation and fought Phasma, Phasma knew his weakness and began to toy with him and even mocked him. And it got even worse when Finn's emotions were getting out of hand. Rey would get up and would be shocked to find Jaina missing and sense that she was captured. It was getting hopeless, so she had to go back to the Resistance on Typho. Once she returned, she explained what happened. Leia was shocked, but felt very certain that Snoke set this whole thing up. And to make it worse, she had to accept her son, Jason, was gone for good. She couldn't save him. He had to make the choice, and he made the choice and became a Sith, Darth Caedus. And to make it worse, she might lose her daughter to the dark side too, sensing they could use sibling against sibling to determine who becomes the ultimate Sith. And Rey was very concerned, but Luke said, "It is time for you to save her, and we trust you that you have learned for the past 2 years of your training to go out there and find her." And Rey decided to use the Force and tried to begin her long journey to find her and, if possible, save her before it's too late. As she was about to leave, she bumps into Finn, who explains to her what happened between him and Captain Phasma. It was revealed that Captain Phasma's attempt to take Finn down had failed, and Finn used his strength and struck her down hard with the blade of the blue lightsaber he held, ending Captain Phasma's reign of terror and her revenge plot. As for the rest that attempted to distract the Resistance, Finn took advantage of their attacks and defeated them. But he knew this was just the beginning, as Snoke has Jaina, and her and Jason fighting for the ultimate Sith, and possibly going to try and use Rey as well, could mean catastrophic for the fate of the galaxy. So, Finn would lead the airstrike team under Gold Leader, and he would help them in his own ship to defeat the First Order, as they would have a more strategic plan, but he would be under Lando Calrissian, his father. Now that has been set up, Rey went on her road ship, not the Millennium Falcon because Chewbacca and Lando have it, and went on a search for Jaina. Meanwhile, Snoke had Jason, now Darth Caedus, and Jaina locked in and ready to fight each other. It was going to be a glorious fight. Twin versus twin. Sibling versus sibling. A long rivalry was going to brew, as the fate of the galaxy could be determined. Even with Finn's battle meditation, if he loses, they could end up joining him, or one could join Snoke, and they would become the ultimate empire like Tenebrae would want. So, the fight was beginning to brew. Rey was getting concerned as she was fighting Jaina, but she sensed a more darker presence in the Force, sensing that Jaina was succumbing to her emotions of the dark side. As she had learned from Luke, emotions themselves don't lead you to the dark side, but rather the negativity of the emotions and the negativity of the anger consuming you can lead you to the dark side. This is an important part because the misconception of love, attraction, and connection to someone leading to the dark side is false, but rather allow yourself to be consumed by your emotions and passion consume you, that it becomes your way of thinking and destroys who you are as your identity. Every person has to have those things in order to grow. They can't suppress them. Somebody, even the old Jedi, had failed, and the Sith took advantage of that. Rey would go as far as she could until she went to the planet Exegol, where the Force was tainted in complete darkness. Rey would go alone, but senses her masters, Leia and Luke's words comforting her. And as she got closer, a Force ghost, a Bastila Shan, appeared and told her, "Do not let your guard down," and warned her that it would be possible that Snoke would lead her down the dark path. And the next thing she knew, Anakin appeared. Even Ahsoka appeared. Several Jedi Masters and people who had went with the Force appeared. Rey wasn't all the Jedi, but she was surrounded by Jedi, and they told her that her destiny is really up to her in the end. Finn would one day be a Jedi Master himself. Jaina, if she resists, would too. And Rey would be a Jedi Master herself. But in order for that to happen, they would have to face their biggest trials. Meanwhile, over Typho, the First Order was landing an assault plan, ready to attack. And with the leader gone, the new leader of the First Order was not really a person, but a Sith ghost. It was none other than Darth Malak. Darth Malak in the Force was a strong warrior. He was a Sith after his Jedi attack against the Mandalorians back in the Old Republic days. But then other Sith joined. It was an all-out Sith spirit combined together in the space galaxy. It was a possible, hopeless battle, or so it seems. Luke sensed it, Finn sensed it, and anyone with even a hint of Force sensitivity sensed it. So Luke told Finn, as well as Ben, to stand together. Ben would go in his ship, and he, Finn, and Luke together would face the greatest trial of all time. And Leia used the last of her Force to give them hope, as well as risk her life doing so. What Leia did was give them peace. And they would also understand that through peace, there is hope. And with hope lost, the battle is lost. But with hope, battles can be won. But the most important thing they would learn is being a team and working together. This would be vital. Back on Exegol, Rey would find Jaina fighting her twin brother, and Rey sensed the darkness about to consume her as her emotions were all over the place. Rey launched an attack of her own and knocked down Darth Caedus. And Jaina saw Rey and realized that Rey was alive and was ready to fight, because Snoke and Darth Caedus have lied to her, saying they killed Rey. But Jaina also said, "This is not a matter for you to fight." But Rey said, "Neither is you falling to the dark side." Snoke would take advantage of this and use a Force attack of Sith lightning. Rey and Jaina both resisted, and Darth Caedus attempted to use Sith lightning himself. Combined, it was very powerful. Then a Force explosion of a sonic boom knocked them back. As they got up, Darth Caedus launched an attack, and Jaina was about to strike a blow when Rey Force pushed her out of the way, sensing her anger in a negative light, and defended herself. And Darth Caedus did not watch where he was going, and the blade went right through his chest, ending him. Snoke, seeing that Rey resisted the dark side and Jaina's fall was thwarted, was enraged. A massive blow of Sith lightning attacked. When out of the blue, a Force ghost appeared. It was Anakin himself. The Chosen One had appeared. Rey and Jaina could not defeat Snoke, not like this. Anakin then said, "You must work together if you want to defeat, but let me and others lead." Together, the four spirits of the Jedi, combined with Jaina and Rey, would defeat Snoke for good. As for the space battle over Typho, Luke, Ben, and Finn together would fight against the First Order, and the spirits of the Sith that attempted to cripple the Resistance. With all the lies, all the voices trying to scream into the minds of the pilots and the minds of even Ben himself. It was an emotional whirlwind of emotions, but they kept their heads straight. And with Finn's battle meditation and using the last of the Force ability within him because he was getting exhausted, they were able to turn the tide and destroy the First Order once and for all. Lando would launch a devastating torpedo attack on the main Star Destroyer as well as the main ships, and then everything that the First Order had was vaporized. About the same time, Snoke's robe fell to the ground, and Rey and Jaina looked at each other, and Jaina said, "I'm sorry. I did the wrong thing, letting my emotions get the better of me." Rey responded with, "It's gonna happen to anyone. I got impatient several times before. It is common to make mistakes, even if you are a master. Even I had to learn myself." Rey would forgive Jaina and they both left Exegol for good. As they went back to Typho, there was a group of people in the tent of Leia. There, Leia was waiting for them and Jaina would come over. And Luke stood with them and said, "Her time is coming." And as they watched, Leia said to them, "I am proud of you." And then she looked to Luke, who had an announcement. To Jaina and Ben, as well as Rey and Finn, I grant you guys the rank of Jedi Masters. And I want you to lead a new Jedi Academy throughout the galaxy, because no matter how many enemies we defeat, someone will always come to disrupt the galaxy. And together, we can protect those who can't defend themselves and train them to defend themselves. No one will be helpless. Leia smiled, and then she gave her final breath and died on her bed. She died being a warrior for the Resistance, and she gave everything she got, even with the broken heart she had over losing Han. And thus ends the Resistance and begins, once again, a new republic and a beginning of government functioning, once again, outside the First Order. Jaina would later fall in love and marry, as well as Ben married someone else. But the most important couple, Finn and Rey, they would get married and they would have a family for the future. As for Luke, he would be the Jedi Grand Master to the end of his life, and he knew that he would have a whole new generation of Jedi that would grow. And for Lando, he would too stay and go to great lengths to be general of the Republic Army with the support of Cloud City and the freedom they needed. And thus, there was peace. That is the end, finally, of If I Directed Disney Star Wars. And honestly, this took way too long to do. If you guys enjoyed this podcast series, comment below, tell your friends about it, and please share the video. I hope you guys enjoy. God bless you, rock. Don't forget it.